We don't know what provokes it, but Genesis 15 opens with God telling Abram not to fear, that he is going to protect him and he is going to give him huge blessings. But Abram responds, "What good are all these blessings when I don't have an heir? My servant is going to inherit everything that I have." Now, at this point, God has told Abram twice that he's going to give him a descendant, that he is going to make him into a nation. But we really see Abram struggling to believe God in the midst of his circumstances, because Abram is 80 years old. And we know from Genesis 11 that his wife is unable to have children. In the midst of Abram's fear and doubt and questioning, God does something beautiful. God makes his covenant with Abram. He renews his promises and he gives Abram a glimpse into the future. And here Abram learns about some of the trials that his descendants are going to face. And what's interesting is that it's that same fear and doubt that's going to lead Abram's descendants into some serious trials. But God lets Abram know that he will die in peace after a good long life. So right after this covenant, Sarai says God has prevented her from becoming pregnant. And so she offers her young maidservant Hagar, who is of childbearing years, to her 85-year-old husband as a way for the family to have an heir. And once Hagar became pregnant, she began to despise Sarai, and she started to treat Sarai with contempt. The relationship between Sarai and Hagar gets so bad that Hagar decides to run away. But the Lord finds her. Now, this interaction between the Lord and Hagar is going to be a little tricky for us to understand. But if we dig a little deeper and we really use scripture to interpret scripture, we find that this interaction between the Lord and Hagar is so significant, so special, and so sweet. Hagar knows and is comforted in the fact that God sees her. This incredible God of judgment and grace, mercy and love, he sees her. He sees her circumstance. He sees the bitterness and rage that it's caused. He understands her fear. He sees this poor servant girl, and he has a plan for her child. And so, in an act of obedience or trust, Hagar goes back to Abram and Sarai, and she has her son Ishmael. This is a really hard story to digest. We see Sarai and Abram's doubt putting into motion consequences that are still impacting the world to this day. But in the midst of it all, we see God showing up, pursuing the hurting, and never letting our doubt or humanity thwart his ultimate plan.